I stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I think we're giving away money today.
You're giving away money. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. This is our regular board meeting number 6. It's Thursday, February 12th, 2026, and we are on time, 10 o'clock. And I'd like to ask for public comments at this point. Sir.
Got up pretty quick there. I got up quick because I sat back down. It was.
You did your squats this week.
It's gonna be a trouble.
Why this morning already?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Don't put me on the card yet. Pastor Simon, pastor of the Baptist Church. I am representing Community Mobilization Coalition, also the Community Leadership Coalition on Education. Now you can put it on the card. First of all, I want to thank the commissioners. Thank you for your response to the community and your decision to keep the county offices in the county seat, which is the city of Youngstown. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Secondly, I want to express my love, respect, appreciation for each of you and all of our county leaders for the work you do for the residents of Mahoning County. You, our team, all of us in this room, all of our city, township elected officials and state representatives, we are all a part of this team. Team Mahoning County. And we should love and care for each other and respect and appreciate each other and work together like a team for the good of the people we serve in our community. For the last 11 years, we, the Community Leadership Coalition on Education, have been working with our community leaders and state representatives to try to help our school district get out of state control that has been a disaster for our districts. Our senators, state senators, Mahoning, Ruley, Catrona, state representatives, Michelle Hagan, Lauren McNally, as well as other district representatives to draft some legislation to try to get Youngstown out from under the distress commission. And they honored our request and both drafted legislation to get us out. And we had them both come down to the Board of Education meeting to talk about the legislation and ask for their support in the form of a resolution, which they did. Teamwork, working across the aisle for the benefit of our community. We have to work together as a team. Even though we have differences, we don't always agree on everything, we are still a team. I was at a commissioners meeting a few months ago that was held at the Central Library where you had some of our state elected officials, Tex Fisher, Al Catrona, Laura McNally, come to inform you of what's going on at the state level and what they are doing to help our county. I thought it was wonderful to see team players working together. And I was at last week's meeting, and one of our team players was trying to update this body on some of the things that were going on at the State House and how they were going to affect our county. And it was somewhat troubling to hear how it was received and responded. We are a team, and beyond our differences in political parties, or differences, race, differences in religion and faith traditions, we have to find common ground and work together. Love and respect each other as we try to deal with the challenges that we face. So I'm just here to try to set the atmosphere for our commissioners' meetings for the rest of the year so that we are respecting everyone, all the citizens who come to make presentations and work together with our elected officials, our team members to accomplish the goals for our community. Love you all. Thank you for this time.
Pastor, one thing, and I would ask anyone who watched that, because I heard different things about that. I was happy she was here. It's wonderful that we were able to interact, and I asked questions as far as where the state was on the subjects we were talking about. At the end of her presentation, her speech, I turned to Mrs. Rigetti and said something to her, and you'll acknowledge that. I wasn't looking at her, and it was more, to me, that was disturbing to myself because that was like a show somebody tried to put on. There was no mocking, there was nothing else. Storming out of the room, that's not teamwork.
Yeah, well,
I need answers from the state how they're gonna help and fix these problems. And that's all I asked for.
she's not the problem in the state. She's just bringing information down here.
And I asked her, well, she is at the state. If it was Tex Fisher, if it was Michelle Hagan or whomever else, I would have asked them the same questions that I have. I said during my commentary, I said, it's both sides have failed the residents. Both sides have. I said that repeatedly. So I take a little bit of umbrage to like saying that I was out of line somehow. I did not, I just want to say on the record again, I did not mock her. Carol, was I talking to you? Were we discussing something?
Yeah, but when I looked at you and I said, that's enough. Look down, you know
And
me.
and Carol, did I look at her, did I say anything to bring that on? I did not, and I wouldn't do
No,
that.
you're.
And I wouldn't
Let me
do
get my
that.
striped shirt
That's
on and
all.
call timeout.
It's crazy that a public official would do that, which she did and act in such a way.
It is our,
It's embarrassing.
it's,
The way she ran
but
out
it
of
is
here
our
was embarrassing.
delivery to people.
Mhm.
And I've always said this, you're not just saying this now, but I've said it. It's the delivery. When you deliver in a tone that's not normal to what people are used to,
Well,
then it's taken in another context. And that's what I told you to, when I looked over to you and I said, that's enough. What did you say to me?
what did I say exactly?
You
I don't
just
remember
looked
that.
at me.
I looked at you. So how is that? Exactly, Carol. I mean,
All right.
we'll have that discussion
I was here
later.
to help set the atmosphere
Sure.
for our meetings for the rest
Pastor.
of the year, so that we love and respect each other because we're all part
Of the team.
Pastor, if you can.
Thank you,
Teams.
Pastor.
Excuse me one second. We're gonna switch gears. We're gonna pivot. I was gonna do this after public comment, but I want to do it now. And in honor of Black History Month. I said we begin, I'd like to take a moment to recognize Black History Month. This month invites us to honor the achievements, leadership, and resilience of Black individuals who have contributed and have shaped our communities and shared our history. By acknowledging this month together, we reaffirm our commitment to respect, understanding, and getting better along in the future.
Thank you.
Can you add to that, please, sir?
So I would appreciate those comments, and I would hope that everyone would have an appreciation for all history of all of our nationalities here. Because we're all part of the melting pot here in the United States, the United States of America. Even though we have differences in different religions and different races and different cultures, we want to love and respect each culture and each tradition and each person's history. So thank you for that. It's important that we acknowledge the contributions of all of our citizens to this great nation of ours. And we're living at a time where the climate has us so divided. And we don't need that. We don't want what's trickling down from Washington trickling down here. We need to work together and love and appreciate each other, respect each other. And that will help us achieve the goals that we all want for our county. So that's it. My sermon is done. And,
Thank you. So you're not going to do a song for us? Pastor, you don't want to sing? I mean, after the end of that, there's no song that goes with that?
No, I'm not going to sing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Anybody else, public comment? Sure, you got 3 minutes. Name and address for the record, please.
My name's Janet Cobb, and I'm from Columbiana County,
Okay.
and I hope you're not gonna give me a hard time about that. I didn't know if there was a rule about being a Mahoning County resident to address the.
Now, we pretty much let anybody talk. Give them 3 minutes.
Reverend Simon, that was beautiful. Thank you. I'm hoping that what I have to say doesn't put a crack through that unity message.
3 minutes.
On Tuesday, February 3rd, I got sure, 156 Washington Street, Salem, Ohio. Can you start my 3 minutes over? I'm gonna need every bit.
Okay.
Thank you. Tuesday, February 3rd, I got a text message from a friend of mine in Warren over in Trumbull County. And there were 2 names and contact information for a law office in Maine. And I was a little bit flabbergasted, so I called him up and I said, what is this? And the story that unfolded from that message has become all too common in the US in this moment. Stories not limited to Ohio, not limited to Maine, and not limited to any specific geography or group of people. It's a story of unconstitutional government action. It's a story of harrowing journey totaling close to 4,000 miles across this country and back. It's a story of bravery and trust and community unity. It's a story I'm happy and sad to relate to this audience today. It starts in Bethel, Maine, the morning of January 15th, where DHS agents of one kind or another detained 9 men at a construction site and had them moved through the ICE detention network, where 2 of them ended up in a facility in Louisiana prior to deportation. A newspaper in Maine reports that a U.S. District Court judge ordered on January 28th that those 2 men be flown back to Maine by February 2nd, after learning that the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement had sent them to a facility in Louisiana in violation of a temporary court order. The 2 men were released from ICE custody on February 3rd at 8:30 a.m., but not in New England, not in Boston, not in their hometown, not in the place where they were working the morning they were detained. They were released from the Mahoning County Jail, a few blocks away that way. The lawyer that I had contact with, named Paula Estevez, said her clients had been released into the cold in Ohio, knowing no one, without any means to return home to Massachusetts, where they have pending immigration court cases. Temperatures in Youngstown were in the low teens that morning. This was a week ago Tuesday. Estevez said she was informed by the U.S. Attorney's Office on February 3rd that her clients had been released 2 hours earlier. She said the federal court prosecutor told her he just learned of the news about the same time, and they contacted her. And she sent out a message, and she said, "Does anybody know anybody in Ohio?" And I got a text message. She said federal officials have only returned the belongings of one of the 2 clients since his arrest in Bethel. She said the ordeal was harrowing, but they're home and they're safe. And that's thanks to my friends here in Mahoning County. When I got that phone call, the first thing I did, or the message, first thing I did was I called the lawyer's office. And I said, if you can get a hold of them, please tell them to cross the street and go to the bus station where they can get out of the wind and the cold. And then I made a couple of phone calls to friends in the area, because I know a lot of people up here in the Mahoning County area.
All right. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Appreciate your time.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm going to finish the story because we knew it was a long one. So we'll pick up where we left off. She called folks. A group of people were able to get the guys from the bus station and taken to a warm place where other people were able to bring them clothes, including shoes and coats and hats, some money so that they could make the journey back to Massachusetts. They were given bus fare to make that journey and provided some food and some support for the journey. So they were taken care of by the network that we have created here in the Youngstown area. They had one phone between them and needed to charge it. They needed lots of support. When you come out of the jail, you have nothing. They've taken everything. You're in a pair of sweatpants and that's it. By 2:30 on February 4th, they arrived in Boston, but they got on the wrong train, being that it's a difficult thing to navigate when your second language is English. They did manage to make it back to Framingham, Massachusetts. My friend has wanted to relay that she's very proud of the folks that she contacted in Youngstown. These people are her friends, they're her community. Their selflessness and care helped 2 lost strangers get warm, have a meal, and feel safe for the first time in 3 weeks. She and I and others, helped them find their way back to Framingham in the comfort and safety of home. They helped when others did not. They helped when others chose to deliberately not help. When I tell the story, I cannot help thinking about who was working a morning shift at Mahoning County Jail a week ago Tuesday. I wonder what they said, what they did, how they felt when they closed the door on two stranded strangers who didn't belong in Youngstown, Ohio? What were they thinking when that door closed, locking the strangers out in the cold, keeping the heat inside the building where they were at a safe, accepted, and comfortable place? How do you turn out two men into the snow and wind, unprepared for the weather, without means, without friends, without family, and one phone? What kind of people do that? Thankfully, folks were here to help those guys, but yeah, let's think about that.
What are you suggesting? What kind of people those are? I mean, our deputies?
I'm relaying a
I mean, but
message.
is that what you're suggesting, our deputies?
I'm
or-
wondering what kind of support our Mahoning County Jail can provide.
I'm just, you're saying what kind of people would do that? I just wondered what you were suggesting.
I'm
you-
suggesting,
That,
what goes through your mind as a person who sends someone out into the cold without letting anyone else know of their situation? Now,
okay,
this comes from ICE.
okay.
They chuck these folks out. Now, I do have sources, primary sources for all of this. So if someone wants to talk to me about it, I can.
All right, we appreciate it.
But yeah, ICE released them into Mahoning County, where they should have been flown back to Massachusetts, according to the federal.
I'd have to follow up if get the whole.
I will-
But I appreciate, we appreciate your
definitely
time.
give you those.
Thank you.
sources.
Anybody else? 3 minutes? Anybody else? Terry? It's Terry, isn't it? Name and address, please.
Terrence Historical, 127 East Grand Street, Lowell, Ohio. You know, OCA, I don't know if OCA is involved with when these detainees are left out of jail, because that's another organization that you can use. You know, OCA, a Hispanic community, you know, and I support them a couple times a year. I brought forth a question, a rhetorical question. I said to a friend of mine, if you were living in Nazi Germany at the time, and you know that someone was Jewish and it was illegal to be Jewish in any occupied country that had Nazi influence over them, would you have turned me and my family in, all my family, because we have Jewish blood in our heritage, but we're Catholic, but we also develop Jewish heritage in our weddings? I asked my friend, would you have turned me in? Because you know it was illegal to be Jewish in Germany, or homosexual, a political activist, or a union member. Would you have turned any of those type of people in? And I even asked some of my family, this has divided family and friends, neighbors, strangers against one another. I was talking to my sister in Milwaukee last night. We never imagined something like this would have happened, that we're not talking to one another because we're afraid to, because of repercussions, you know. And I've stopped talking to a couple people because of their political, ideology. And also, when Trump was first president, his first term, a friend of mine who's a grandfather caught his grandson lying. And his grandson told his grandfather, if Donald Trump can lie, why can't I lie? And then let's take it locally. The Mahoning County Clerk of Courts, they're all after him to resign. Why aren't everyone asking any that's involved at the Epstein files debacle resign? I mean, they threw Nixon out because he Watergate of firing his attorney general, whatever, and he left. But here we have a man in the White House. His name has been mentioned many, many times in the Epstein files. And no one's doing anything about it. And it's like, I'm just wondering if anyone of you in this room would have turned me and my family in, because if I was Jewish.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
name is Samuel Garcia, 1711 Ohio Avenue, 44504 Youngstown. I just wanted to thank the doers in the county that are actually doing, being boots on the ground. I'm just very grateful for everybody that are the doers. As you said, there's a lot of things that are happening and all around us, but I feel in this room are the doers that are actually taking a step forward. And we will get in trouble when we do things, like you said, an official. I do officiate for football and basketball. You're always in trouble for the things that you do, but you are doing, and you need those things to be there. So I just wanted to say, as a citizen of this area, I'm grateful for the actual doers that are doing. You will get in trouble, even if you're trying to do good things, it seems like. That happens as a parent, that happens as a doer. But I wanted to just implore that I'm very grateful for the doers that are here doing this. And as the boots on the ground or a citizen, I want to be able to find ways in which I can be your workforce, be your doers, on the ground, on doing the things. So I just wanted to thank everyone for what you're doing. It is hard when we have different thoughts and we have different agendas and whatnot, but we all know that our main agenda, which Jesse spoke of here in this area, is to help others, no matter where they're from. And so I just wanted to bring a positive light to things. There are many more positives. We'll focus on the 10% or 20% of negatives when there are also, who knows, 80, 90% of positives. So I just wanted to share that I'm very grateful for the doers that are here. And I feel like we should just, move forward and find solutions instead of find the negative things that could possibly impede us. And so I'm just grateful for this opportunity to share that. And I just wanted to thank everyone for finding the positives that we can work forward and become higher from.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? Nobody else? All right, I just want to say something. On behalf of myself and it's my colleagues, it's up to them. But this is a county meeting. We're here to discuss the county agenda. There's opinions that says that we can limit what the public speaking goes to as to what's on the agenda. I haven't done that because I love a public forum. I think people should be able to express themselves. But it's just getting to the point where we have people come in here and we're talking about Epstein, we're talking about Nazi Germany, we're trying to change what ICE is doing in Washington from that podium.
No,
And
sir.
that,
No,
I'm
sir.
sorry. I'm
We are
sorry.
not trying to change what ICE is
Thank
doing
you.
in Washington. We're
Please.
trying to change what ICE is
Ma'am.
doing in Mahoning Valley.
Well,
I'm
Well, then
happy to
there's-
leave. I
we're
can't
not-
stay and listen to this. That's not a unity message.
there's your drama. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for coming.
It's not
I'm
a
just
unity
saying, we're
message.
not-
Try again.
Thank you. Go get him. Thank you. I just want to say that I don't want this to turn into that debate every week. We're here to do the county's business. And that's what we're here to do. And I'm not going to allow, I don't want to allow it to be a forum for national politics or anything else. Period. That's my feelings. I mean, Anthony, do you agree? Is this?
Yeah, we
is this-
always want public forum, we want public comment, but sometimes when you bring in the national issues, it kind of clouds what we're trying to do here. I don't never withhold anybody from what their opinions are. But the Epstein files and those things, I personally don't want to talk about those. We have big issues here in this community. I know they're out there because we have a 24-hour news cycle and it's impeding our brain, as with the lady that's missing. Now, there's a lot of things going on and we have bigger issues here that we need to do. But if we could maybe just limit the comments to the good things or things we need to do in our community, that would help along things. I don't know if Carol has a different opinion.
No, I just think when you open up to public comment, you open yourself up to all comment. So it's up to us to look at the ORC. And personally, as I was in the city,
You have to
could
follow
read-
there a
you
week
have
ahead of
to-
time.
But you do
Right.
have to give notice of what you're speaking about, and then it's up to council or the clerk whether that's done or not. But you have to be conscious of what we're here for. We're here for the business of Mahoning County. Do some of us like what's going on from the top down? I don't think so. But That's not up to me to convey that to you, or maybe you to convey that to me. We need to worry about Mahoning County. We need to worry about what's going on in our schools, with our children, with our people, with homelessness, with people with no jobs and no money. We need to worry about that. We're too focused, and I'm sorry, I'm very adamant about this. You know, we look at things and we look at this issue. And then we forget about the issue that if down the road you lose the property tax, you lose all of this. $54 million. Who's ever doing that is crazy. You lose the money. You lose the county, the townships, the cities. We have to look at things that are going to impact Mahoning County. And we need to start looking at that and be more conscious of what we need to do to make our government better here. Not what we need to do to talk behind my back, to work against me, to try to do things that are going to hurt people. I just, it's a whole, and Reverend Simon, you could agree with me. I mean, I'm at that age that I've seen things happen here from years past to getting better, to go back in the same way it started in the 1970s. It's disgusting. So I'm going to shut up because I could go on forever.
Already? You know, I'm kidding.
Yes, he has to say.
Me and Carol have a lot of discussions.
Yeah, we do.
We do, absolutely do.
But
And I
I'm
appreciate-
just saying,
And I've
we
told you, I
need,
appreciate you.
we need to, we really do need to look at that. I mean, we do have national issues. We do have state issues. We have city issues. We have county issues. But where do you change those?
No. we-
At the ballot box.
Yeah, I knew you weren't done. I absolutely knew you weren't done.
Well, I had that. Well, you're never done.
All right.
Anyway, I'm
That
done.
being said, thank you both. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm going to ask for a moment of silence for two friends of ours that recently passed away. Anthony, you were closer with Emilio and Dominic.
Del Mar.
If you want, if you
Yes.
want to,
Yeah, I
you
had
can.
two very close friends that died, not even 2 weeks apart. Lifelong friends, both of them, like me, we all came from immigrant families. Dominic Del Monte, I went to school with him since the 5th grade. My father gave him his first truck driving job. When nobody would hire him, my dad hired Dom, and he actually ended up being in the trucking business as a driver. And Emilio, who has passed away, Sebastiani, his father was from Italy, same place where my dad came from, had a trucking company. And after Dominic left our company, he went to Sebastiani Trucking, where he worked for 23 years driving truck for Emilio. They have both passed. They were fine people from great, hardworking immigrant families. They all spoke the language as my family did. They all celebrated. We had Christmases together, and I'm certainly going to miss them. And it just goes to tell you that we're only here for a brief moment and that it's over. So all these arguments and grudges and debates that we have will come to an end at some point. You know, it's inevitable, and it's in God's hands. And I know they're in heaven, and I'm going to miss them both very, very much. It's been a very hard time for me because I'm getting calls from their family and their wives and those types of things. I'm trying to help everybody as much as I can because I certainly understand the loss. So thank you. Gino, thank you, everyone. If we could do a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Ed, can I get a motion?
Yes, motion to approve previous minutes of board meeting number 5 and approval of bills for payment.
Second.
Roll call?
Yes.
Yes. Advertisement for bids, facilities.
This is a statement of qualification for professional services for design, engineering, and or surveying projects.
Thank you. Motion?
Motion to approve advertising for bids number 1.
Second.
Roll call?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Journal entries.
Motion to approve journal entry number 2.
Second.
Roll call?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Number 3, travels. Comment, please.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
This is the point annual travel with 2026. This is objectives and their employees for Supreme Court member professional organization. They belong to them and their employees. It is non-general and CLEs are.
Thank you. Grants management. Anna?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Oh, there she is.
This is to attend board community meetings at project sites, grants planning, grant development meetings, fair housing coordination, community development block grant meetings, seminars, conference, and more within the state of Ohio for the year of 2026 in the estimated amount of $3,000 non-general.
All right, thank you. Treasurers.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Morning, Dan.
This is my annual request for approval for the treasurer's office. Travel is primarily to Columbus, myself to attend conferences and workshops where I earn continuing education credits, and also I'm active with Treasurers Association of Ohio and attend pretty much monthly meetings in Columbus. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Can I get a motion for travels?
Motion to approve travels A, B, and C.
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Remedy, everybody? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Number 4, agreements, Convention and Visitors Bureau. Morning, Tara.
Morning, Commissioners. Maria. This is an agreement with travel boards doing business as TBI Advertising for the distribution of the Mahoning County Travel Guide at all service plazas along the Ohio Turnpike. This is for 2 years, and it also is for a half-page ad in their 2026 printed map. The amount is $6,854. It is non-general fund.
Thank you. Engineers.
Morning, everybody. Letter B is an agreement with Stephen DeCoste for the purchase of real property needed for the Glenwood Avenue Road Diet Project in the amount of $9,710. These are non-general funds. Letter C is an agreement with Stephen DeTillo for purchase of real property also needed for the Glenwood Avenue Road Diet Project in the amount of $15,580, non-general funds. And letter D is an agreement with Thomas Folk and Associates for the engineering services for the resurfacing of Meridian Road from US Route 62 to Mahoning Avenue in the amount of $42,420. This is 80% federal, 20% local.
All right, thanks, Pat. And letter E, facilities.
Commissioners, E is an agreement with Waste Management to exercise additional optional year of the agreement with the same terms and conditions in the amount of $15,154. F is an agreement with Grace Services Incorporated to exercise the additional optional year of the agreement with the same terms and conditions in the amount of $14,220. And G is an agreement with AEY Electric to exercise the additional optional year of the agreement with the same terms and conditions in the amount of $20,000, all three general.
Thanks, Alan. Letter H, lead-based. Phil.
It's Mary Ellen today. Letter
Hi.
H is an agreement with Foundations for the Future for lead hazard control work at 624 West Dewey. And letter I is an agreement with Foundations for the Future for lead hazard control work at 1580 First Street in the amount of $4,697.
All right, thank you. Probate court. Hey, sir.
Letter J is our agreement with Compass, our annual agreement with Compass Family. We offer our guardian services for indigent folks that we serve in the probate court. There's a lot of people.
Thank you. Prosecutors, K.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
K and L are both agreements for professional services for real estate title work. K is with Associated Federal Escrow Agency, in the estimated amount of $20,000, and L is with Western Reserve Title, in the estimated amount of $30,000.
Thank you very much. Recycling.
Good morning, Commissioners. Item M is our agreement with Lamar Advertising to provide 5 billboards for our Earth Day promotion contest. We have several schools from grades 4 through 8 participating in the program. The awards will then be up on nearby schools, and they will generate our environmental theme for the year. Item N is our recycling agreements with these various communities for ancillary services and real estate. The varying amounts are based on the number of containers and amount of space we are occupying.
That billboard program, they get a lot of participation.
We get
I mean,
hundreds,
get excited about that.
we get hundreds participating. The staff here will select the winners, and again, the winners will go up for a 4-week period during for a 4-week period, but it is to celebrate Earth Day.
I would have loved to have been a kid and seen my work on a billboard.
They wouldn't have put it there.
They would have put it there, Carol. There might have been flashing signs with my name on
I
them,
got
Carol.
it. Then you bring them down here, right, Lou? Didn't we give them a pizza party last year?
The pizza party was for the Christmas tree project that was there showcased in the commissioner's courtroom. This one, the award is they get their name put up on a billboard near the schools that won, and then they get to have that nice trophy for a 4-week period.
Is there an age limit on that, Lou? I mean, I always wanted some of my artwork on a billboard. I don't know if we could. You could go under an alias. That happens a lot too.
Yeah. Then bring
Thanks,
them
Lou.
down here, Lou, like we did other
The
years.
billboards,
Bring 'em-
Carol?
No, the students.
Oh,
No, they're gonna hook you to one.
we'd like to from our room.
Anyways,
All right, thanks, Lou. We appreciate it. Risk management. Kathy, we got Kathy coming.
Everyone. So, O is an agreement with Foresight Corporation. We utilize them for independent psychological evaluations that we need for the medical management of workers' compensation. Estimated amount $10,000, and those are non-general.
Thank you. Treasurers. And
Morning again.
Hey.
Letter P is our agreement with Meter Public Funds. That's our investment advisory firm, which the commissioners are familiar with, that sit on the investment advisory board with me in managing the county's investment portfolio. Letter Q is an agreement to upgrade the PC that we use for our check scanning equipment. I was in front of you a couple weeks ago requesting approval to have the licensing and maintenance for that check scanning equipment approved. Now our IT department, the county's IT department is wanting to do an upgrade, and there's some work that we need the vendor to participate. So that's what this is. Again.
Very good. Thank you. All right, motion for agreements for. Oh, we got one more?
no.
Oh, Sheriff, I'm sorry. Geez, oh man, I'm crossing things.
Good morning, Commissioners. R is an agreement with Direction Home of Eastern Ohio for a social service program in the amount of $27,500, non-general.
Thank you. I will never sheriff's. Now, could I have a motion?
Motion to approve agreements, letters A through R.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
yes.
Yes.
Mr. Fabio?
Yes. Resolutions, additions. Where am I at? Oh, geez, oh man, I got too many papers here. I'm gonna get this right. Appointments, commissioners, Jamal.
And item A is to appoint the following individual to serve on the Mahoning County Tax Incentive Review Council for calendar year 2026, and that is Jennifer Pangi.
All right, motion. Thank you. You want to say something, Jen?
No, I don't need to say, it's an honor. Thank you. I will serve.
Jen, you do a great job with our budget. Jen's the head of our OMB and she does a great job. Thank you, Jen. How can I have a motion?
Motion to approve appointments 5A.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
yes.
Yes.
Fabio?
Yes. Resolutions, additions.
Motion to approve resolutions, number 1 additions.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
yes.
Yes.
Mr. Fabio?
Yes. All right. That'll be resolutions. A, clerk of courts. Doing that?
Good morning, Commissioners. Brent Hanna with the Clerk of Courts. I'm asking for moral obligation payment for Corsa in the amount of $2,500. It's for deductible. We have exceeded the amount, so we owe them $2,500. B is for Protect Security, a moral obligation to pay for $795 for a service call and labor at the Springfield Court or Sebring courts.
Thank you. C, commissioners, Jamal.
Right. And C is a resolution for a donation to Animal Charities of Ohio, a nonprofit corporation, and the estimated amount of $520.
Thank you. Engineers, D.
Commissioners, letter D is a resolution approving a moral obligation payment of $7,850 to Youngstown Hoist and Body. This was for services rendered to repair one of our plow trucks.
All right, thank you. Facilities, E. Alan?
Commissioners, E is a resolution amending resolution 240433 to include reimbursable. F is a resolution approving an unpaid leave of absence for one employee in the department.
All right, G. Anna?
Commissioners, this is a resolution approving the moral obligation payment of $300 to Wilshire Tree Service for the removal of one additional stump that is non-general.
Thank you. Jobs and Family, Audrey? Up there?
Yes. Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Maria. Letter H is resolution for Job and Family Services approving the appointment of a human resource and labor relations specialist for the department. Thank you.
Thank you. I is lead-based.
This is a resolution terminating our contract with All Valley Heating and Cooling because they've reached the maximum allowable funds.
Right. J, Recycling.
Commissioner, this is a resolution to approve and adopt the solid waste management plan. The plan serves two main goals. One, it provides for the safe management of solid waste generated within the district for a 15-year period. And two, it demonstrates how the district will achieve the goals established in the state solid waste management plan.
How long are we working on that plan, Lou, to put that together?
So far, we're about 14 months in.
You
And
good
it has
job.
to be updated every 5 years.
Right. And we're there now, right? I mean, that's what,
5 years.
all right. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve resolutions A through J.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right. For the good of the order, today we have our auditor, Ralph, who's going to give us an update on property tax.
Thank you.
Good morning. We had the General Assembly this last year, 2025, passed several bills, about 5 in total. And this morning, I'd like to bring a brief update, I always am brief, on House Bill 96. Now, if you're watching our local news, you'll see that Trumbull County had a town hall type meeting. It was a commissioners meeting about House Bill 96 and how it will affect the various schools and townships. So I'm not going to talk about Trumbull County. We talk about specifically about Mahoning County today and how House Bill 96 will affect what's going on here. So here we go. As an explanation, House Bill 96 was passed in 2025. And our friend Dave Thomas, I think, has spoken here, that was very instrumental in getting a lot of these bills through. This bill allows county commissioners to adopt a resolution to double the amount of the homestead exemption and owner occupancy tax, providing an increased tax reduction for eligible homeowners. Now, the owner occupancy is anyone in the county, and the homeowner and the owner occupancy, the homeowner specifically for older citizens. If the Mahoning County Commissioners enact this resolution, homeowners who currently qualify for the deductions receive double the savings. Let's go. So, under the current program, the state of Ohio reimburses the amount of this reductions back to the county. So, if you total up all the homestead and all the owner occupancy credits, the tax bills go out, courtesy of Mr. Yema, with those amounts not expressed on there. It's the reduction. And then the state, a couple months later, reimburses the county for those amounts to make us whole. The distributions, those distributions that are made to the townships, school districts, and other tax-supported entities. With these additional reductions under this proposal of House Bill 96, if approved by county commissioners, will not be reimbursed by the state, which results in each township, school district, board, and other property tax supported entities they will receive less of a tax distribution. At the bottom here, we have the amounts of the owner occupancy and homestead for the first and second half of tax year 24, pay year 25. And if you see there, it's $12 million between the two, was reimbursed by the state to the county for homestead and owner occupancy. And that's every year. In other words, the state required, the state would still reimburse the original amount of $12,246,000, which then gets supported to our tax supported entities. The new additional reductions would not be reimbursed, meaning tax supported entities would receive $12,246,000 less in their tax distributions every year. This effectively reduces the voted millage to the property tax supported entities levies passed by each district. In other words, the voters voted for these levies to put out a specific amount to those entities, and they would be reduced. So for county entities, this is just the pie chart that's to the left, and the amounts to the right. It's a graphic indication. You can see the county entities. Let's see.
It's just the door.
County entities, which would be the county, the various departments, DD board members, receive $1.8 million less. School districts, $7.6 million reduction every year. Townships, 1.5 million, almost 1.6. Municipalities and special districts. Total again of 12,246,000. We've grouped these into these entities. And you can see here that, of course, the schools take the biggest hit on that. And these are, bear with me here, following are the 6 pages of the various entities. If you want to focus on your entity of interest there, I'll just hit the highlights here. The general fund for Mahoning County would be reduced by $424,000. DD board would take a hit of $447,000 on their levy, and then on the 2 levies, so it'd be about $600,000 on the 2 levies for the DD board. And let's look at the school districts. As you look down here, the biggest reductions are going to be Austintown schools at a little over $1 million, Boardman about $1.3 million, Canfield about $700,000, Poland about $700,000 reduction. In other words, these, if you did impose this double homestead exemption, owner occupancy, these are the hits these entities would take starting next year. Here we have continuation of the schools. Youngstown School District, $1.6 million reduction. Mahoning County Training Center, $400,000. I'm going slow. This is all on my website too, just so you know that it's all out there in the public. It's been out there for a week or so. Austintown Township, Mr. Trustee, $506,000 reduction every year. Boardman Township, $530,000, and so on down the line. Every township, every property tax supported entity would take a hit on this. And which we go down to park, the library, and so forth. Again, totaling the $12,246,000. So, in order for the county, I'm just going through the mechanics of how this would work. The county commissioners would adopt a resolution. The resolution would be invited to the county auditor and the tax commissioner within 30 days of adoption. If it's adopted before July 1st, it'll be applied to tax year 26, payable 27. If adopted after, apply to the following year. It's not endorsing it, just saying that's how it worked. And generally speaking, the property tax related, all the bills they passed the 5, it's a good start, but it's not the end of the road for this. We need a lot more. And obviously, senior citizens need broader property tax relief. They need broader than what's offered here. But what's being done here, they're kind of pitting the homestead and owner occupancy for senior citizens and other residents against everyone else. I don't think our townships, I don't think our schools, I don't think other municipalities can afford to take a haircut of over $12 million every year. That's just not 1 year, that's every year. And as the homestead exemption increases and owner occupancy, it's going to increase. So we're putting a burden of $12 million. I also don't believe, you could talk after I'm done, that the county, Mahoning County could afford to absorb this without passing it along to someone. That's my belief. So I think we absolutely need help for senior citizens. We also need some adjustments on what the schools are doing. We have some excellently run school districts in Mahoning County. We have others that are smaller and probably there should be some incentive for our schools to use every tax dollar more efficiently. And then in closing, I'll just point out to something we might talk about in the future. We have another one of the bills that affects the inside millage and puts an inflation adjustment instead of an asset value adjustment on those. That'll be in effect for the second half of this year. Mr. Yema will be working with my department to see what, we don't know what we're going to do yet because the state has not given us any information exactly how that'll work. The reduction in our second half tax bills. We also have a budget commission that's coming up that'll enable the auditor, the prosecutor, and the treasurer to review the financial statements of the various entities. We're still trying to find our way there. Again, Columbus has not given us a great amount of guidance there. The taxpayers can look at their tax bills, and the tax bills have been out, issued by the treasurer this week. You go to my website to find it. You can find all the detail, and also in your homestead exemption and owner occupancy. That's what I have. Any questions from the commissioners?
Ralph, what happened, maybe I'm mistaken. This is another trickle down effect from the state to the county, Mahoning County. We enact this breaks.
Good question, Carol. Yeah, I agree.
I want to ask another question, and I know I continue to ask you this, I continue to ask the legislators this isn't anything new. If they would go back to the 70s and enact the original, if they want to help seniors over 62 or 65, go back to the original homestead exemption percentages. Help them. Because what they're trying to do here is bring it down to the county commissioners, not only in Mahoning, everywhere.
No, you're absolutely right.
And then we're the ones that are going to enforce it. And who takes the hit? They do. Their kids do. The programs do. Developmental disability, mental health. I mean, I get so frustrated with them. I want to go to Columbus and kill them all. I mean, they're just crazy.
Pastor, is that loving
Reverend Simon's discussions earlier about we should all get together.
And you
know what I'm saying.
I heard what you said and it's recorded, so.
If I may elaborate, and what you made a very good point. What the 5 bills that have put out there, there's really no participation from Columbus.
Zero.
No. This bill, it pushes it all back down. And what would happen if this would happen? Well, our townships, our schools would have to come back and ask for another levy for the difference. Because I know Austin County can't survive at $500,000 less, and neither the Boardman or anyone else. The schools would have trouble. The inflation adjustment for the inside millage goes back to the 70s. There's really no money directly coming. They're going to reduce the amount of the increase last year. Now the state has put up a $360 million fund to reimburse some of the schools over the transition. But other than that, there's nothing coming our way. So the homestead, the inflation, the budget commission will not affect anything coming from Columbus. Basically, there's 3 ways that we support our county and our townships and schools: property tax, sales tax, and income tax. And just people have a lot of ideas and they don't like property tax. We need property tax. It supports our police, our fire, our EMS, our roads, our townships. I think sales tax, the governor came out this week and said it'd be about 20 point increase in our sales tax to make up for lack of property tax.
Yeah,
we would have sales tax of 25%. That's not practical.
Then you could go to Columbiana.
So it doesn't work with property tax, doesn't work sales tax. The elephant in the room is income tax. I don't think, this is just me talking, I don't think anyone here cares about paying 2.75% income tax. It's not much. I really don't believe that any corporations wanting to do business in Ohio cares about that low income tax. It's not very much. If we added the income tax and shared it with all our subdivisions, that would help. I think companies coming to Ohio are more concerned about how good our schools are, how good our roads are, how good our fire, our police, and EMS. That's what they care about. They don't care about a couple of percentage of income tax. So that's my soapbox.
Ralph, under the Budget Commission, could you use that like a scalpel?
Here's the problem. We're still finding our way on what really the Budget Commission do.
Well,
And the treasurer and the prosecutor are talking about, but really I need more guidance from Columbus on this. And we're talking to what legally we can do. But here's one of my problems. If the taxpayers go out and vote for a levy, does the Budget Commission, anyone really have the authority to go out and change the will of the people?
Well, according to the state, is that what the state, because my friends, my side, everybody's team in Columbus, it passed.
Yeah.
And they're saying, well, the Budget Commission could do this.
One of the reasons for that, did it cost the state anything?
No, and that's my whole point with
You're exactly
everybody
right.
in Columbus.
Exactly right.
And I think Dave Thomas is a great rep. He's trying to do all he can. But the state didn't go to their wallet for anything.
Correct.
And we are the ones that got to provide the services. And they says, well, you'll just have to cut them to pivot away from, the tax problem.
I agree.
Whatever the DeRolf, we've all heard about the DeRolf decision for 30 years. Whatever that decision was, enough wasn't done, obviously, with that. That's not my fault. That's not Anthony's fault, Carol's fault, or your fault. That's not. It's the fault of the people that are there. And right now, the Republicans were in charge, and they didn't do a damn thing to fix it, other than pivot and put it on us. I hate the fact that taxes I pay taxes. I pay property tax. We all pay property tax. It's not like we're exempted. Something has to be done at the state level. And that's all I was trying to convey last week. It was not, and if Tex Fisher was here or anyone else, I would tell him the same thing. We have to fix it, but it has to come from higher up than us, because all we get left with is providing funds for services and the blame for everything. So I just wonder if the Budget Commission can pick and choose where they saw. I mean, because you'll have the ability to look into budgets and see where they're
Yes.
at in their levies.
I don't want to speak ahead of that, but
No, I
it
don't- I
appeared
won't put
that
you on the spot.
one thing we might be focusing on are the amount of the reserves that various entities have, including some county entities and school districts and our DP boards and everything else. The amount of reserves is of interest. And that's one place where we might take a look. But again, we have to be very careful. And again, I'm not certain how much latitude we have.
Right.
But what I am looking forward to, Budget Commission meetings are now public. And we will have these hearings, and I'll like the public to come not participate, but to come listen to what everyone is doing with their budgets. I think that's very important.
That'd be helpful.
And we look to our friends in the media coming out and covering those too.
Oh, that'd be helpful.
Because, the best thing in government is transparency.
Absolutely.
We have to strive for.
So if you look at the reserves, okay, because there are some entities out there that may have a lot of reserve in them. I mean, when you look at
excuse me,
the social service reserve, that's because of what may happen if something goes down. They have a reserve to take care of the vouchers for the handicapped, mental health, DD. I mean, if this were to happen, you would not only gut the county budget, how about the sheriff? I mean, by law, we have to fund the jail. Anthony knows that personally. I mean, because when they couldn't fund it, I mean, they were brought to Cleveland to court. But I mean, we have to fund the jail and all these other entities that we have to fund. I don't know where the hell, I just can't figure out where the legislators and the governor think this is going to be good. I mean, when you cut all the schools, is that because you want to privatize and make them charter schools and you don't want to have public education? But no oversight. That's not good either. I mean, I just wish before they vote on all this stuff, they would actually go to a meeting with a group of county commissioners from all over the state and say, okay, here's what we're going to do with the auditors group and the commissioners group that take care of Mahoning County, not only us, but all over 88 counties. I mean, you're not the only auditor probably saying the same thing.
Oh, no.
They're all saying it.
I'll say this, Carol, that even as of last summer, I went down to a CCAO conference. And there was nothing, the state didn't have any angst until they said they were going to eliminate property tax. Then they got on board and started saying, well, maybe we better look at it. There was nothing from the Republicans, from the
I
Democrats.
know, that's.
Nobody was pushing to do anything
But see,
until
that's
their
wrong.
feet were put to, absolutely it's wrong.
And if they know it's,
Kicked
they
it-
all
kicked
have
it down the road.
all
Now
these
they have-
all these entities, CCAO, the auditors convention, the treasurers, they all have state groups that have lobbyists. For God's sake, they know what's going to happen. They're there every day. Bring everybody together and let's come up with a solution that fits all of the counties in Ohio. I mean, go on the percentage of income in those counties and work through that. I just can't figure it out.
Anthony, what do you
I
have?
know you've heard everything. I want to thank you, number one,
Very well.
for your presentation. Very, very well done. You know, I look at things from a practical point of business, and this whole thing could have been simplified so easily by the state. They had numerous options available to them that made sense to people like me, people like us who don't understand all of these things that they talk about numerically and philosophically with respect to taxes. I mean, let's look at it this way. Their solution is basically they're trying to put us out of business. And you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. I don't like paying property taxes myself because I'm in the real estate business, but I get it. What about the homeowner, the real estate owner that puts in hundreds of thousands of dollars a year or maybe a lifetime on their property, a driveway, a roof, a kitchen, a shed? We pay the money to improve our house. What happens? The evaluations come, they put it on the property taxes, up it goes. So let's say we made these cuts, that we did this. What is not saying what will stop the inflation, the next valuation, that the break that we gave will be eaten up and the next reval, then we're starting back where we are. These things should have been thrown out. They should have started pre-pandemic. Claw back. Go back to before the housing boom happened, because all of these valuations were done in the middle of a housing boom and everything was at the highest. We didn't know that. The state did, but they let it go. We'll just throw it on the county commissioners, because now you're going to have the schools, the townships. You know, we didn't come down here to put everybody out of business. I want to give everyone a break. A senior citizen, and I said this over, I know you're probably tired of me saying it. Anyone 65 or over, their home is paid for, they should not have to pay property taxes. There's other things the state can do, like you alluded to earlier. But these solutions, they're not solutions. This is will cause a whole nother caveat in the economic systems that we have for survivability in Mahoning County. It's going to be tough. I would love to give everyone a break. I wish they'd give us the authority to say, okay, Mr. Meacham, Budget Commission, here's a list of all your seniors. All their mortgages are paid off. You got 300 people here. They shouldn't have to pay anymore. That should just come right off the books. Index them right off of it. And, you know, this inflation value versus asset value, you're starting to tinker. And in the end, there's not a lot of money saved. It really is. And you even told me that, Ralph. How much does it average out on an average home?
Oh, with a homestead,
What's it
average
come
homestead
to?
about $450 is a
Right.
homestead. And
For a year?
yes, and the owner occupancy is about, on average, about $62 in taxes.
Now, Columbus has to do something. They have to correct this, my opinion.
I think they like chaos.
I think again, until Columbus gives us some solutions that sends funding downstream to our churches, or not churches, our schools or townships, I think that's what has to be done. There's
Thank
one
you.
other thing I'll lose now, just to let everyone know, we're having a reval this next year, triennial. And I've been following the housing prices coming through.
Oh, no. I don't
And
know.
the state of Ohio gives us a ratio of sales to assessed value. And right now, Mahoning County and every other county is at a level below where they want to be. They want to be about 90 to 93%. We're about 75 now. So if these numbers hold, and I think they will, I predict that we will have at least a 10%, 15% increase in average residential assessed values because of inflation and the valuations. It's been increasing every year.
That's what I just said.
It's not going to be
What
38
you
like last time.
take now and save, it's added back on, not you.
Yeah.
But it's added back on, so you start right where you began.
But we have
There's
to
no
also.
help. Nothing
correction.
against
No,
you.
I'm saying
the
also,
state.
we have 38% in residential, but the average increase in our taxes is 7%. So it doesn't move proportionally.
Right.
So just be ready.
Okay.
That's what I have. Great things on my auditor's website. Please take a look there. I've taken enough of your time. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Ralph. We appreciate it.
I do have a question. Did House Bill 96 put a cap on each time there's an increase in when inflation hits?
No,
I thought.
not 96. That's not for another meeting.
Okay. I thought, well, this is 96. I thought it was at 90.
But once you go to
128.
Okay.
That
All right. Thank you for cutting through what we could today, Ralph. I
Right.
appreciate it.
Thanks.
I mean, there's so many things. This isn't just cut and dried or, just this or that. There's so much. It's a huge
You
issue.
wonder how could we activate a group to combat all of this? I mean, how can we do that with different committees like the auditors, treasurers, commissioners? I mean, is there a way if we could get people from all over the state of Ohio that are in elected position to actually come and understand? Ralph, if I don't keep
General Assembly
looking,
and we elect them, Carol.
well, they're not.
And I
no,
talk to
'cause-
every one of them the same way.
Yeah, but you want to know what, Ralph? I don't know that. I'm not going to say they are all like this. Please don't misunderstand this. But if you stood up here and I'm in Columbus and I'm sitting at a table and I got all this paperwork and I got people that work for me in my office and you're handing me all these bills or all these things that we're going to start doing, do you actually think that every single one of those legislators understand that? Do you think that? I mean, I'm not saying that, it's hard for us to get it unless we keep looking at it and reading it and saying, okay, what is this? And then call somebody.
It's a cynical viewpoint on my part, but I think sometimes the complexity of our taxing structure is intentional. We don't want us
I
to
agree.
understand it all.
I agree.
There's a lot
I
of
do.
moving parts. It's not logical. It's just a formula to go through.
So how is it that could change? Because that's old school. And if everybody wants new school, then they got to start changing that. Am I right or wrong?
It's complete.
So who are the people that do that in Columbus? Legislators or are that group of lobbyists?
The General Assembly, they make the laws. We just follow the laws.
Can I add something to that just real quick? I worked in Washington for 11 years for Jim Trafficant. And the bills that would come through our office were
Yeah.
this big,
How do you read it all?
this big, whether it was drug enforcement, whether it was IRS, whether it was Social Security, like this. It's impossible. Nobody down there reads the bill because we had a place down there called Ledge Council, and it went through the Library of Congress. Congressional Research Service did all the research for all the legislators, and those were worked through the committee, finance, crime, health, space, science, technology, those things. And you had a staff member assigned to do those types of work. So Ledge Council would give the members of Congress their research, and believe me, I was in the Library of Congress at the Research Center. These folks are PhD plus levels. They're think tanks, they're policy wonks. They get everything lined up and then they give it to the committee and the committees look at it. If it makes it out fine with a discharge petition or it doesn't. And then by the time it's done, it's all watered down. And everybody says, well, you know what? Let's just tack on a spending bill of this. My project needs this. We'll just pass it. That's how it works.
So do you
Thank
think
you.
they do that in Columbus?
Same thing. Pretty much.
Oh,
At a
really?
smaller level.
Then maybe those are the people we need to get to.
Well, do you talk
It's
to
the
your
committees.
Committees
where it happens.
legislators?
Mhm.
I do every time I see them.
I mean,
And I don't like the way they're operating. I don't like the fact Carol, there was no angst, there was no hurry to do anything about property tax
I know that all of a sudden.
until this came up,
Till the
they were
petitions were
forced
circulating
and they
to
were
abolish it, then everybody woke up.
Well,
And that
they
still
should-
can happen.
their
they
answer,
should've woke up way
that
before
could.
that happened.
they should have. A lot of things in government take way too long. That's part of mine. But
Okay.
now hopefully they're doing something, hopefully.
Yeah.
But what they're doing,
It's not good.
what they've done is not helping the situation.
Well,
It pivoted.
Trickle down effect
They pivoted.
to us.
All right. Are we done with that? Everybody satisfied with all that? Good. We got that straightened out. Great job. So, Robin,
Now that we
if you
got
come up,
now that we got everything.
Yeah, Robin, you waited a long
organized,
time.
I'm sorry, sir.
That's okay.
I was-
by now we lost how much on that thing now, buddy, because it's over.
Thank God no one
Oh my
called it
God,
out.
it's outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't see, you've been talking. We could have been out there viewing.
Yeah. Everybody take a deep breath. I have positive stuff.
Yeah.
2 years ago, this body approved an $800,000 ARPA funding for a new mobile command post. The previous one was 20 plus years old and had kind of reached the end of its life. Advances in technology and everything else had kind of passed it by. With that, we were able to get the new command post, which came in at a little over $732,000 under the allotted amount. And the result of that is sitting outside for the commissioners to inspect. My colleagues, Connor O'Halloran and Adam Guerreri, are both out there to walk you through some of this technology because frankly, they make fun of my keyboard skills. So I'm not the one to do any of that. Adam was on point on this project. When you're out there, you might say something to him about the fact that he went around to the stakeholders that typically use the mobile command post and included them in on the design. It's a much different setup. We're on a Freightliner frame and powertrain, and the box on the back is all custom made to our design for what we could afford. So I'd like to, without further ado, invite you guys to go out and take a look at it and appreciate what we've been able to do. And it'll be an asset for years to come.
Just for the public, where would we use that? How would we use that? Because I'll just say that the building in Austintown explosion, the old one was out there. That's the kind of thing where you need a place to have communication and a command post. This thing can roll anywhere. Any tragedy we could have, it doesn't have to be a tragedy. Where else would we use that?
Well,
Utilize
we'll
that?
actually deploy it during the fair, Canfield Fair.
Fair.
It won't be on site because, again, if something were to happen, we don't want it there involved, but we can run emergency operations out of it. And so there's other static events that we'll take it to where, it might be of assistance. I'm sure we'll take it to a few things to show it off. And, but again, the example of the explosion in Austintown, we rolled it right out there. And again, everybody from our amateur radio folks to the state fire marshal used it at different times, as well as the incident command post during the early stages of that operation. So these things are invaluable. Most counties have them. Columbiana County was a little lacking. We had our command post down there at least 3 times for presidential visits and other things to operate for the law enforcement command post. So this will get a fair amount of use, and we're really looking forward to the technology advances that we have. You'll see a lot of that in here, and Adam and Connor can point some of that stuff out to you. You'll notice also that on the back of it, there's a 40-foot mast with an antenna and a couple of cameras that have zoom capabilities, so you could literally sit back,
So you can't
blocks,
go sit
and look at
behind
the
it
scene that you're
during the week.
responsible for. So I think we designed this, and for the cost, I think it's been a great purchase. And again, it was a American Rescue Plan money that the commissioners approved, so it did not come out of the general fund or anybody else. So again, I appreciate your support in this and the support we got 2 years ago when we were able to get there.
Robin, can I?
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Now, when you take this off-site, like if you go to Columbiana and they have an incident, like maybe an oil spill in the truck, like an accident, do they have to reimburse you? Does that county have to reimburse you for bringing our truck?
We have never asked for that because frankly, within emergency management, we will support each other back and forth.
Okay.
If we had a major incident here, they would roll up here with some of their folks to assist us in managing that incident. Again, any of the adjoining counties in particular would be doing that as well.
So you co-partner with each other.
I just got two comments, not questions. Number one, I was on the scene right after the Austintown explosion, and I saw what we set up or what was set up at the explosion site and then back at the school. And it was almost watching these guys that know how to do it and get everybody coordinated. It was almost like a symphony. Everybody had their thing, and it almost was. It was like a movie. There was a round table. They contacted hospitals, pharmacies, doctors, and everything else. And it's amazing. And to have a vehicle like that to coordinate that out of is invaluable. And I'd also like to mention, Robin, while we're sitting here, that I am the only one up here with a CDL. So I'm driving that sucker. I'm going to take it for a ride. I'm going to check her out. I got to run her, I got to check it out.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome to do that. But,
Appreciate it.
I crawled up into it where we have it at the garage on Industrial Road. And I'm looking at the roof of some of the fire truck vehicles in there. So it's a big beefy vehicle, and I think it'll serve us well in the future.
And how high is it, Robin? What's the
floor
height?
The total height, frankly, I don't know offhand. I know it's about 40 feet long.
Yeah.
So we had to block off a significant area in front of the courthouse. But we're aware of that. In fact, on the roof, which you won't see today because I don't think anybody would go up there, we actually have an observation platform on the roof with self-contained railings, which are not up, and you can go up the ladder on the back. And again, the command staff could go up there and look at a scene from the roof of it as well. And inside, you'll notice there really aren't many windows other than on the door. And everything else is all cameras, and it'll be on screens. And so you'll see the front end has a communications area, which can actually serve to pick up for 911 if one of the 911 centers go down. And the rear is more of a command area, whereas a larger, more expanded area, and again, has all the camera access and other information and computers throughout. So, and it has a small galley area in the center where, we have some.
And feed them guys, they get hungry.
Well, yeah, it's not a big area, but it also has a self-contained restroom, which becomes important in the scenes sometimes.
Absolutely. So, well, hey, Rob, thank you for all your contribution to that.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Anna, for ARPA.
Yep.
Thank you for one
Anna.
of the projects being completed.
And anybody else who wants to take a look at it, they're welcome. But of course,
We'll be up in a few.
Yeah.
As soon as we get out of here.
Anybody else?
All right. You got anything?
No.
Carol?
No, I'm done.
All right.
We
Well,
haven't really done, but I'm done.
I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Remedy? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Maria, when is our next meeting?
Next Thursday here at.
Thank you.
We leave this.